Good evening and a very warm welcome to your platform on NewsX Speak Out India. I'm Akshay Tandon. Once again, the law is about to offer an escape route to rapists after having ruined the victim's life, purely because the alleged rapists are all under the age of 18 and therefore come under the Juvenile Justice Act. The family of the victim, who is herself a minor, are outraged. The Guwahati court sent 5 minor boys accused of raping a 12-year-old girl to 3 days in remand home. The decision has caused anguish to the family of the victim, as the minors are not being treated as adult rape accused. The family of the victim is questioning the logic of the law that treats the 5 minor rapists with kid gloves, while the victim's family and life is nearly destroyed.
Day before yesterday, हमारे यहाँ एजहार लॉन्च हुआ था, जिसमें वी केम टू नो कि एक 13 साल की लड़की के साथ रेप हुआ है और 5 लोग एक्यूज्ड हैं उस केस में. अकॉर्डिंगली हमने ऑपरेशन लॉन्च किया और उस रात को ही हमने 5 एक्यूज्ड को अपनी हिरासत में लिया, पुलिस की हिरासत में. मेडिकल एग्जामिनेशन के बाद हमें मालूम चला कि वो जुवेनाइल हैं. उनके सर्टिफिकेट्स, उनके डॉक्यूमेंट्स, बर्थ सर्टिफिकेट एंड साथ में हमने बोन मैरो टेस्ट के लिए भी उनको भेजा था. कल उनको जुवेनाइल बोर्ड में प्रोड्यूस किया गया.
So in this edition of Speak Out India, the questions we are asking you tonight. First, Damini, and now a 12-year-old, 5 minor rapists getting away. Is the juvenile law becoming a get-out-of-jail card for rapists? If minors are old enough to commit adult crimes, why aren't they treated like adults by the law? Go ahead, call us on the number that's flashing on your screens, 01204369420, and share your thoughts tonight on Speak Out India. Joining me on the show, I have with me Ms. Vasundhara Pathak, advocate in the studio, and in a short while from now we'll also be joined by Mr. Amod Kant, former chairperson of the DCPCR. I'm going to begin by asking you, Ms. Pathak, it's extremely unfortunate and tragic to be talking about a case right after Damini, and the verdict has come out in the Damini's case, that a 12-year-old girl has been raped by 5 of her friends in Guwahati, and unfortunately once again the juveniles are going to go scot-free.
Absolutely, I believe that it is in fact miscarriage in justice which we are facing today, because as of now what the current situation as per the Juvenile Justice Act is that a juvenile is considered to be a person who is below the age of, in case of a male or in case of a female, is a person who is below the age of 18. Now, having said that, let me say that the laws are meant for the people and not the people for the law. I emphasize on a famous adage that where a law suffers from a defilement and it needs to be revisited, and in the current circumstances, in the current circumstances and the facts that are prevailing around us, I feel that this is the high time where we need to revisit the juvenile justice system.
Yes.
Not only the law with regard to the age of the juvenile, but the entire juvenile justice system.
Okay, let me go across to Mr. Amod Kant, who's also joining us. Mr. Amod Kant, we heard Ms. Vasundhara Masoodi saying that it's time to revisit the entire Juvenile Justice Act.
But the entire juvenile justice system.
Okay, let me go across to Mr. Amod Kant, who's also joining us. Mr. Amod Kant, we heard Ms. Vasundhara Masoodi saying that it's time to revisit the entire Juvenile Justice Act after this particular story that has come to light from Assam, where again 5 minors have raped a 12-year-old girl. Don't you think the juvenile age is something that needs a correction?
Well, I think the Juvenile Justice Act of India, that is Juvenile Justice Act 2000, which is in fact called Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Act 2000, is already under review. And I happen to be in that small committee of those people in the ministry who are getting into details of this act and reviews taking place. That is one part. But then so far as the age is concerned, let me clarify that the age of the juvenile is same as the age of the child. See, there is a common law. The juvenile justice system contains 2 types of children. In fact, the 90% of the Juvenile Justice Act is actually about children in need of care and protection. It is not about juveniles. Let me clarify a few myths, because those people who have not read the law very carefully would not understand that the children who are in difficult circumstances, the children who are homeless, who are street children, who are children in variety of vulnerable situations, deprived children also, economically weaker section children also. All of them happen to be the subject matter of the same law. And the children who commit crimes and who are offenders, they also become part of the same law. So first of all, juvenile justice system is a very vast affair. It talks about all types of children who become subject matter of law. Now coming to the age part of it, since these two types of children, let's say in Nirbhaya case also, in Nirbhaya case also, the child, the boy, who is allegedly...
Mr. Kant, I also want to understand why you segregating, whether it's which part of society they belong to. How does it matter? How does that matter at all? My question is, why would you segregate? If somebody is below 18, is below 18, but unfortunately... Go ahead, go ahead.
No. The age under the law, under all types of laws except across the world, there has to be some particular age, because the law will not prevail, the law cannot function.
I agree with you, but the question is, why can't that age come down?
Categories, whether it is, no, the point is that I'm not saying whether you downgrade the age, the age, if you make it from 18 to 16 also, or you make it 16 to 14 also, then relatively and correspondingly you have to create situations. Today, age 18 years is the right to vote, 18 years is right to legal action, 18 years is right to property, 18 years is right to defend himself or herself, 18 years right to drive, right to marry. The point I am trying to make,
please, I have a point here. I have a point here.
A person is
I want to
either a minor.
I want to
the child is either a minor or a major. You make it 16 years. I have no problem.
No, it is not. It is not with regard. It is not. It is not qua your problem, sir. It is qua the demands of the society, the circumstances that is prevailing in the society, and the need of the hour. Let me tell you, before this particular present provision of law that provides for the age of minor male for 18 years, as per the 1989 law, it was 16 years. Since India was the party to a UN Convention to Child Rights, so India was a signatory to this particular convention. India amended its law and brought the age from 16 to 18 years. Now, in terms of the figures which I have presently with me, and according to the State Home Department's records...
Can I correct you, madam? Can I correct you? No, let me correct you first. Let me correct you slightly, because I am a practitioner. I understand you are a very erudite scholar. I know that you are a very well-informed person. But by circumstances, by chance, I have worked with this law for a very long time. First of all, I am the founder secretary of Prayas, which is the largest practitioner of Juvenile Justice Act in the country. At any point of time, 30 to 40,000 children, they come to various centers in 9 states of India in Prayas as an organization. So I work with them all the time, both the types of children. Children in difficult circumstances, in need of care and protection, and juveniles also. 1986 and not 1989. 1986 till 1986, the girl child was up to 18 years and the boy child was up to 16 years. That is what you are saying, 1989. Now let me further inform, ma'am, you that
amended in 2000.
This particular age, the age of 18 years, so far as child is concerned, is as old as 1876. In 1876, we had a law called Reformatory School Act.
Okay, but Mr. Kant, while you want to correct the years and the figures, but the point still remains, what was the need?
Has been generally 18 years.
What was the need?
And United Nations Convention on Rights of Child, that you are referring to, this came, it's just a chance that UNCRC also gave this recommendation.
So my question is, what was the need? What was the need in 2000 to increase the age from 16 of a juvenile in case of a boy to 18?
Mr. Kant, Court has accepted 18 years.
Mr. Kant, what was the need to increase the age of the boy juvenile to 16 years of age to 18 in 2000? What was the need, sir?
No. There was no need, because see, the point is that 18 years was always the age of the child. That is the point I am trying to make. 18 years has been the age of child earlier also, subsequent also, and ma'am is absolutely correct on one point, that yes, we as the signatory to the United Nations Convention on Rights of Child, that is 1991, we were supposed to amend the law accordingly. And we also amended the law. There are 3 reasons given. Number 1, the constitutional guarantees don't oppose it. Number two, the previous laws also had 18 years age, which was given earlier also. Number three, United Nations Convention also
but
was
United Nations Convention doesn't restrict you from lowering the age. Other countries are also a part of that, sir. And other countries have reduced the age. It is not necessary.
I would like to bring to your notice, Mr. Khan, that in US and in UK, the juveniles accused of serious offences are tried in the adult courts. Now let me tell you that in France, a separate juvenile assize court tries serious offences committed by minors aged between 16 and 18, whereas in India we have no such provision, where no court can try a juvenile as an adult. Now my point is, when a juvenile is committing such a heinous offence, why should he be let go scot-free?
Okay, I'm going to come back to you for that response.
And specifically, with regard to the present case you are referring to, Akshay,
okay,
where they organize the crime in such a manner.
Mr. Kant, I'm just coming back to you, sir. We have a couple of callers lined up on the show. I'm coming back to you for the response to this question. Usha Rao from Bangalore and Ram from Hyderabad. Ram, please stay on with me. Usha Rao, kindly go ahead, ma'am.
Well, this tag of being a minor is becoming an easy escape route for young men to go scot-free after committing a heinous crime like rape. How long are we going to tolerate this? The point is, if a young man is old enough to rape, then he is old enough to be punished just as anyone who is above 18 years.
That's the point.
So this is the norm followed in most other countries. Why are we still clinging to archaic laws that make a mockery of justice by allowing a man below 18 years to get away, even if he commits rape, that too in the most brutal manner? What is the point in putting him in a reformation center or whatever they call it, and there is no guarantee that he will come out reformed and that he will not commit the same crime again?
Absolutely. In fact, Ms. Rao, there have been cases that we have reported where the child that has come out has gone back to the same family and threatened the family that he will go ahead and rape the other daughter of that family. That's the state of affairs in the remand home. Thank you very much for calling in. Ram from Hyderabad, please go ahead.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Actually, if you are considering a juvenile as an adult, I don't think the problem will be solved.
Okay.
Actually, consider that if what has made the juvenile to commit such an atrocity to a young woman, it may be family reasons, it may be some other reasons. But according to, if you want to make a change in law, according to the mindsets of the people, as Madam said, in France and everything, don't compare it law with other countries.
What do you suggest, Ram? What do you suggest should be done? You're a part of society. You see this malaise of juveniles going around raping innocent girls who are minors. What do you recommend then? Don't you want to see a change?
Yeah, I want to see a change. If you want to make a real change, what is happening is the people that are coming from villages are not able to adapt to the culture in the urban village. They see a woman from newly, they see movies and everything. The anguish comes from the inside. So
you're saying migration of people from different parts of the state can lead to such cases. Well, anyways, thanks very much.
I would like to
Let me just finish with the third caller and I'll come to you, Vasundhara. Janardhan joining us from Chennai. Please go ahead, Janardhan. Alright, we've lost the caller for the time being. Go ahead, you wanted to make a point.
Yeah, I want to make a point that there is an absence of deterrence. And when we are talking with regard to such kind of heinous crimes, we have always debated that even in case of adults, the present punishment is insufficient.
Yes.
It has to be a deterrence which should be there in the mind of the prospective offender.
Well, thankfully,
Similarly, I believe that the same, the fear of deterrence should be there in the minds of those who are tagged in those words of juveniles, you see. Because unless and until there is a deterrence, I'm telling you, there is no difference. There is no sort of fear, no differences. See, I have got certain data with me, and this is the data of Home Ministry where it said that 33,000 of juveniles, mostly between the age group of 16 to 18, have been arrested for crimes like rape and murder. So this is the high time we need to pull up our socks and we need to revisit the law.
Let's get a reaction on the show. We have BJP leader Subramaniam Swamy who's spoken out on the issue. Let's take a listen.
Where heinous crimes of the kind that you saw in Guwahati, you saw in Bombay, and you saw, of course, in the Nirbhai case, where they will be treated as adults and punished accordingly.
But Subramaniam Swamy, they're saying they should be treated as adults and punished accordingly. Let's go across to Sudeep joining us from Ghaziabad and Payal from Gurgaon. Payal, stay with me. Sudeep, please go ahead.
Actually, to pretend that I am a minor, I cannot be tried by a court of ordinary jurisdiction, I should be tried by juvenile court. This is a very rubbish contention.
Yes.
I think this should be abolished, and rapists should be treated very badly, very harshly.
Yes.
Whatever their may be age.
Yes.
If they are above 16, they must be treated like an adult person.
Okay. All right. So thank you very much for calling in. Payal from Gurgaon, please go ahead.
Actually, issue is that if this thing would have happened to some high status person, say some politician's daughter or some judge's daughter, then they could have they could have changed the rules very easily. Friends, it is happening to a low class society people most of the time, so it hardly matters to them.
Okay.
This is the issue.
All right, Payal, thanks very much for calling in. Right, another caller on the show. We have Jaya Sudha from Chennai. Go ahead, Jaya Sudha.
Yeah. I would like to say that, I read a report on UN surveys of Southeast Asia, and I understand that the first-time committers have a very high chance of committing it again.
Yes.
And, I really feel that, I really feel very scared that, these people are coming out in 3 days, 4 days. It really scares me.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Jaya Sudha, for calling in. I want to bring in Mr. Kant before I come to you, Vasundhara. Mr. Kant, everybody is seeking an answer on why there cannot be provisions within this Juvenile Justice Act that can be brought in, and these criminals are treated on the basis of the crime that they have committed. Why is it so difficult to bring about that amendment or provision in the Juvenile Justice Act? Mr. Kant.
If you permit me to respond to a lot of points which have been said, can I say something? Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
Now, number one, man said that 33,000 crimes, for instance, committed in India. Now, let me inform you that, yes, I also quote the same figure, 33,000 crimes where only 1.5% total crimes committed in India. Mind you, I mean, the population, the children's population in India is 42%. In that age group also, there are at least 25% of population, yet the total crime, the percentage of children committing crime to the total crime is only 1.5%, 33,000 in India.
How does the number take away the gravity of the crime, sir? No, I'm just posing a question that how does a number takes away the gravity of crime?
Will you allow me to speak, ma'am?
Yes, please go ahead. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
No. See, I can't be as articulate as you are. Please let me finish. Please let me finish. The point is that in the same, you are quoting a figure of 2011. I am also quoting figure of 2011. In 2011, with India's 1/4 of population, in USA, you know how many crimes they committed children? They committed 11.5 lakh crimes in USA. And you are talking about the heinous crimes. The heinous crimes, let me inform you, because I have these statistics always ready in mind. I am ex-police officer also. Now the point is that hardly 2,000 heinous crimes were committed by the Indian children in 2011.
No, Mr. Kant, I'm afraid I'll have to come in to interrupt you, sir. 1 second. You cannot. No, this is not fair. Whether it is 1 crime, 2,000 crimes, or 2 lakh crimes, a crime is a crime. A rape is a rape.
This is an age-old fuddy-duddy argument as far as this particular kind of discussion is concerned. Let me put forth, sir, that playing with the statistics would not make any difference with regard to the sentiments of the society. As this particular kind of discussion is concerned, let me put forth, sir, that playing with the statistics would not make any difference with regard to the sentiments of the society. With regard to the sentiments that is permeating in the society. So this is not going to work, sir, because of the heinous, the gravity, the intensity of the crime involved. So please do not quote the statistics.
Okay, on that note, I just want to go across to a few people. Mr. Kant, I'm coming to you, sir. We have Kailash joining me from Mumbai and Som Shekhar also from Mumbai. Som Shekhar, please stay with me. Kailash, kindly go ahead.
Akshay, with all due respect to all the panelists,
yes.
2 points. Number one, yes, as you rightly said, the punishment should be appropriate to the nature of the crime.
Yes.
Nature of the crime underline 100 times, not the age.
Yes.
Second, see, the learned panelist was quoting about the numbers, USA, these, that. I don't know what he's talking. This is India, man. What system we are having? And thirdly, if you are talking about the rehabilitation of the person who has committed a crime, what about the condition of the victim who has already gone through the hell?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All
these liberals, fake liberals, are they worried about the victims who has already lost the entire life and the shame and everything?
Absolutely.
And they're talking about the rehabilitation? What nonsense they're talking about? Sorry to say. We are very agitated, very angry.
Okay. All right, Kailash, anger justified. Thanks very much for calling in. Mrs. Somshekhar from Mumbai, please go ahead. Mrs. Somshekhar.
Yeah, the thing is, I can understand about this juvenile issue.
Yes.
But the thing is, you cannot just say like, acha chalo, 3 saal de do, khatam hogi baat. At least you need to give at least a 10-year thing, so that like, this guy will get at least reformed the hard way, and by the time he comes out of jail, let's say he's a 16-year-old guy, he'll come back out of jail by 25,
yes.
And at least, tayar rahenga, dulai raja, shadi ke liye bhi tayar rahenga, sab cheez, jagah pe rahenga, dimag bhi sahi, jagah pe rahenga. At least they have to have a little more 10 years or 15 years. I understand, you can't give a 16-year-old guy a death sentence,
sure.
But you can't give him a 3-year sentence, and let the other girl be dead physically and psychologically for the rest of her life.
Okay, thanks very much, Som, for calling in. Vasundhara, I want to understand, when you ask for a stricter punishment, what are you asking for? Thankfully enough, the anti-rape law has come in, wherein they have added a death sentence where rape is concerned. But where this Juvenile Act is concerned, what kind of punishment do you think will act as a deterrent on ground?
Maximum years of imprisonment, at least, if not life, if not death penalty, then at least life imprisonment in case of such heinous crimes.
Okay, how do you define a heinous crime?
Absolutely. See, there is, rape is in itself.
Okay.
It has the capacity of being described as a heinous crime.
Whether that 17-year-old who's gotten away in the Damini case, because of whom Damini died, or whether it's this particular boy in this particular case in Assam, where the girl has just been raped, they both should be given 17 years of...
They should be given
life imprisonment.
See,
but what about amounting to murder? What about the murder? Where Damini has gotten killed.
That is why we clamored to the highest peaks. We clamored and we said that no, this particular imprisonment, this particular punishment with regard to this juveniles was totally inappropriate, inadequate. And therefore, and let me pose a question to Mr. Kant on the same platform and in the same breath, that does he believe that if we go by what he believes, that the person who was responsible for Nirbhaya Damini's murder, that this juvenile should have been sent to he has a chance of reformation. He has a chance of rehabilitation in society.
Mr. Kant.
Who was the most brutal, most violent.
Go ahead, sir.
My misfortune is, real misfortune, ma'am, that I dealt with both the cases. On the one hand, Prayas, the organization that I serve, also looked after the case of Nirbhaya. Let me inform you that there is something called Rape Crisis Intervention Center in Delhi, South Delhi. This was the case we handled directly and indirectly, much more than juvenile's case. I fully understand there are 110 cases of rape that took place, and my organization Prayas looked after those cases. I understand their grief more than anybody else, number one. Secondly, so far as juvenile is concerned, because we are also running juvenile homes, and we are running a system under Juvenile Justice Act which is globally accepted as something which is true and correct. I cannot say that juvenile justice system should be disbanded because some cases take place. Yes, it's very, very heinous. It's very, very horrendous. Yes, it must change. I am all for changes in law. There is no problem at all. But don't tell me that juvenile justice process, the separate differential system
No, sir, you're digressing the issue.
No, Mr. Kant, the question, Mr. Kant, the question.
Legal point. One small legal point, if you permit me.
No, what I'm trying to say is that the easy escape route, the easy escape route should not be provided to such kind of criminals. This is what I try to put forth very vehemently.
I agree.
Well, Mr. Khan, I just want to come in. You did welcome a change. You did welcome a change in the Justice Juvenile Act. I just want to ask you a question, sir. If again we go by statistics, because that's the way we go about. The statistics show that in years from 2007 up until now, in 2007 crimes committed by juvenile were at 1,85,000. In 2012 they were about 2,44,000. My question to you is, if we can bring about a change, how do we bring about a change that will reduce these crimes in our country committed by juveniles? What can be done, sir?
No. I think there is something wrong with the statistics. I recollect it very well every time. As we mentioned, ma'am told and I also told.
Leave the statistics. If the crime is on rise, how to curb it? If the crime is on rise, how to curb it?
No. About the law, let me clarify. About the law, let me clarify that yes, there is already a process. There is already a committee which is going into it, and the laws may change. And there is a scope. Even now today, for instance, a juvenile can remain in the custody till the age of 21 years. There is something called Prohibition of Offenders Act. Under Indian Penal Code also there is a provision, and that's an obligatory provision. The first offenders, the young offenders, are not being sent to jail. They are actually being let off even today. I am talking about for the serious crimes also. Yes, except the exception is about death sentence.
Yes.
That if a crime attracts a death sentence,
yes,
a young offender will not be let off. But the Prohibition of Offenders Act is almost as liberal as Juvenile Justice Act. So Juvenile Justice Act and Prohibition of Offenders Act are quite comparable. But the fact is, I entirely agree with the public sentiment.
Yes.
The fact is that the law definitely needs some
and on that note, Mr. Kant, I want to go back to the public one last time before I come to you. Saraswati from Bangalore and Rajpal from Mumbai. Rajpal, stay with me. Saraswati, kindly go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, I don't understand. One thing is that all our minor laws, whoever for the juveniles, are based on one thing that I believe is that those people, the minors below 18, are not fully developed mentally. So that's the reason they have the different laws with the adults. But if a person who is capable of attempting a rape to a girl, is this his attitude or his mindset is not fully developed as a
absolutely, that's the question we are raising, Saraswati. Thanks very much for calling in. Very briefly, Rajpal, last caller on the show, go ahead. Rajpal.
Yes, you see, everybody knows that rape is a very heinous crime.
Yes.
And we are not taking into account the mental and maturity of the person.
Yes.
If a person of 18, he knows what he is doing a sexual act.
Yes.
He should be treated as, not as a juvenile, but as a major.
Absolutely.
And he deserves all the punishment.
Well, one thing is very certain, Mr. Rajpal, thanks very much for calling in, that our society and India is evolving, thus it's imperative that even India's archaic laws also evolve. Unfortunately, we'll have to leave it at that for now, running out of time. But Ms. Vasundhara Masoodi, I'll have to ask you to...
I would like to sum up.
Ma'am, we have very little time, briefly, just 5
I would
seconds.
like to sum up. See, we need to put the entire system into place. I feel that we are a hypocritic society. We suffer from a great amount of hypocrisy because when it comes to cases like Asaram or when it comes to cases like Damini, we are entrapped in our own system, in our own web, whether in terms of taking pleas like the age, in terms of juvenile,
like I said, the entire system needs a relook,
or in terms of accusing the woman or the girl itself. So therefore, let me be very clear that we need to change the laws, we need to change the mindset of our society.
India's archaic laws and mindset needs to be changed. I'm afraid I'll have to cut you short there, ma'am. We're completely out of time. Ms. Vasundhara Masoodi and Mr. Amod Khan, thank you very much, sir, for joining us on the show. With that, we wrap up Speak Out India. Headlines and top stories will continue up next. Good night.